Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live. In this episode, I want to show you a simple setup that you can create using Blender and Dream Texture add-on to generate like a animated AI based on avatar. Okay, so first of all, you might have seen this result, this video from the other day that I posted. So here, what's happening is I recorded my own face using smartphone. And then from that video, I crop it to 512 by 512 and then send it through Blender Dream Texture animations. So it generates kind of face, monkey face based on my face. Okay, so I did my self diffusion back into a monkey. On the second test, I actually used hallway tile, which is this one. It's an app that does 3D head avatar, and you can use this should be like the default on every smartphone and maybe like on the Mac. I'm using Mac, right? So this app allowing you to select an avatar and then you can record your face like this. You have seen me doing this before, so this is pretty cool. And I use the monkey head and generate this one. This is using a random seed, that's why the monkey head keeps changing compared to the other one where I use the same seed, so the monkey is more or less the same. The head sometimes become hair, which is funny, but yeah, it's a kind of interesting experiment. So I will show you how I created this. So with if you have Dream Texture add-on installed, so Dream Textures by this one by Carson Katri, this is version 0.0.7. so if you have everything installed, I have shown you before, you can go to image editor and then you have this panel, Dream Texture, so you can generate by default is set to texture, and you can type in whatever, like random machine part or random metal part, and then you hit generate, or with seamless, it's gonna generate a texture over here. However, there is like a hidden feature of Dream Texture which actually residing over here. So if you go to cycles, there's also Dream Texture over here. I will put it up here. So if you are inside a camera, let's set this to 512 by 512. It might gonna take a while to render, but test AI render. If you are using the feature over here, you will actually let me. Oh yeah. If you set it to cycles, you're gonna have Dream Texture that you can turn on. By default, the strength is set to 0.75. I can change this to, let's say, like cyberpunk box by Rembrandt, for example, something like this, and set the resolutions. Okay, and everything else should be good to go. Let's lock this camera. So if you try to render this out, it's gonna generate a default cube that's actually more or less based on the prompt. So okay, maybe I should turn this off, but maybe I should record it a little bit. Well, if you want to record this one, you can record a video of yourself or your avatar, and then let me close this, it's gonna be faster. So this might take a while to generate anything, so let me just open the one that I have. So the setup, after you turn on Dream Texture, what's gonna happen if after you do a quick render, if you go to the compositor nodes and enable nodes, under render layers, you will see dream texture that you can plug into the composite. Okay, so you can render an animations. In this case, what happened here? Okay, I will show you. This is the video of the monkey coming into Blender. I just set it to plane, and I set a camera that looks directly to the plane. So this is one way to do it. I was hoping that we can actually use just like an image input over here with the video. Okay, all right. But for now, I think this is one way to do it. So whatever being rendered from the camera inside Blender will be passed through the dream texture to generate the second image by AI. Okay, so whatever rendered, including this monkey head. So let's try if I make a render. The process actually, I want to show you something. Wait. So this is dream texture turn on. However, you might also see the panel over here. Be careful, sometimes these two panel might not be in sync. The one that we should be using is the one over here, not this one, but they're two kind of somewhat correlated to each other. So the progress is happening over here. Hopefully it's gonna finish in just a couple of minutes. But my promise, hyper-realistic Giuseppe Archimboldo's art style face made of monkey, chimpanzee, gorilla, high detailed painting by Adrian Guinea and blah blah blah, masterpiece. So this is the prompt that will be used to process this image. Okay, by the way, I should have run this one time before I made the screen recording, because what's happening at the moment is it's gonna load the model. Okay, the first step is gonna be the longest. It's gonna feel really long to create this one image. Anyhow, it's still gonna work, and you will see the progress start from 1, 2, 3 until 20, 21 or 24. Result will be something like this. So I think this is pretty cool. It's kind of like realistic, slightly stylistic, but this is based on that video of the monkey. Okay, now it's running. It's after you load the model the first time, the second time it's running, it's gonna be faster and a little bit faster. So this is step 2, 3, 4. Okay, I guess while it's doing this, I also want to show you with the dream texture, you can generate texture, right? But you can also use something like material map generator. So if you have like an input like this metal, this one was generated using dream textures. So it's like a random metal, slightly rusty, and using material map generator, this is like another, I think it's using AI somewhat to generate the PBR material. I thought this is also useful, and you can try this. So material map generator is using Python to run this. So if we have anything like maybe that's gonna be for another video, but I just want to show you while this is doing the render. Okay, the render will take a while still. Okay, this I set it to 40 steps, that's why. The sampling, The sampler I was using was KLMS. I can also use DDIM. I think DDIM can be faster actually. The strength, if I increase the strength, it's gonna be more like the machine doing the render. If I reduce this like to 0.5, it's like this monkey head, closer to this monkey head, the original render. We can use negative. Precision is set to automatic. With Mac M1, it seems to be using just full precisions, but set it to automatic anyway. So the final render is going to be under temp. So what else I haven't talked about? So let's just open Safari. The other day I was installing InvokeAI as well. This is a little bit more advanced. If you're using the web UI or InvokeAI of Stable Diffusion for AI, that's the way to go. I think it's really has beautiful interface. But let's check the Dream Texture annotations. So this feature that we are using is called render pass. Okay, style transfer and novel animations as a post-processing. So the render pass, you can have a read. It's only available for cycles at the moment. I don't know why, but you can render. You can render anyway, like just like what we are doing here, just like a flat render, and then you just pass it through cycles. Open the compositor, enable use nodes, connect the dream texture output into the composite, and this one is an example of default cube by Rembrandt. All you need to worry about is the strength. Use lower strength value if you want to preserve the original render. You can enable random seed, random generation on each frame. For a simple style transfer of an animation, use consistent seed, help the animations to be more coherent. So that's something to keep in mind. You can animate most of the properties when using render pass. Simply create keyframes and the property will update automatically. Yeah, that's cool. The one thing I haven't tried actually, if we can use geometry nodes or Python that updates every frame. I think Sphere might be good for this. Let's say you want this monkey head to be like a different render each time, like different animals, different type of animals. You can perhaps type your own Python, or you use nodes like Sphere or geometry nodes to modify the prompt. So you change the prompt using nodes. That's actually possible. I haven't tried it. So instead of just randomizing the seed on every frame, you're gonna be randomizing the prompt on every frame using nodes. So that's gonna be really powerful, I think. Progress still going on. Yeah, when it comes to the AI generations based on your render, I think it has a little bit more human to it rather than just using prompt. I always think image to image is brilliant. You can use app like Diffusion B, or you can use InvokeAI or Stable Diffusion Web UI. It's a little bit more advanced, but you have more control. The one that's like an add-on inside Blender, just like a Dream Texture. What's the other one? AI render. Yeah, they are very similar. I use both. Different simplicity. At the moment, I'm using Dream Texture, of course. And I talked to both of the developer, and they're really helpful. And still kind of work in progress. It's still experimental. If you think about it, it's only just about 1 or 2 months. since Stable Diffusion was made available as open source, so it's a good idea to just make the best of this tool at the moment, because we don't know, maybe tomorrow they just gonna scrap the open source one and just continue with the paid one. I don't know, but the open source one is really quite something, and it's really unlocking a lot of possibilities. So you can generate texture, photography, concept arts, custom. If my machine is a little bit faster, if it can generate like an image in 30 seconds, I can make more, of course. For now, it's like 4-5 minutes per image generations using this M1 machine. But I've tried M1 Max at the Apple Store. That's like, it can generate under 30 seconds per image. Of course, it can be faster, like 3 seconds. I don't know if you use like a GPU render, a powerful GPU, like what is it called, 3090. Yeah, it takes a while. That's why when doing this, I just run like normal render animations and run like a batch overnight, so I can see the result in the morning. In a just few seconds we can see the result. But what I really like about the AI render is really like the surprise that you're getting the next day. It's almost like you're curating the art, right? And you pick the good ones. In this case, because it was made using my avatar face, it's almost like looking at a different view, but it's also like it seems familiar because of the image that you're generating. Okay, this is the upres version. I also use something from Codeformer. This is like a way you can upres an image. Okay, so this is what's going on. It's cleverly cropping an image of the monkey head, and then as a result we have something that's twice or 4 times the resolutions, and it's gonna try to fix the face of this monkey. Okay, this is the render finally after so long time. Right, I think this is quite something. Just probably gonna take a screenshot. Even though it seems like, oh okay, it's nothing, but it's actually quite something. Okay, let's try rendering this again using DDIM, and then this time the steps 20. I have a feeling this will affect. These both should be synced together. I think that's it's not a bug, it's some kind of improvement that can be created. So I just did another render. So this is cycle renders of that video. Blender is really becoming like I think like one app that does a lot of things, like including how I crop this image or this video. I use Blender for that, and I create AI render. The funny thing nowadays is like, if you have an idea, like for example like a prompt, you prompt, you know, something, the astronaut on a horse at the beach, right? It's one prompt, and then you ask AI to create music based on that, and then create a visual based on that, and hopefully you can create animation, so you have some kind of music video, a concept at least. And if you have like a real human artist, then you can send it to them. Okay, you make this into a real music video. Okay, that's maybe one way to think of it. So you can see the progress is a lot faster now because it doesn't need to load the model. It's already running. It's gonna take just a few seconds. What else I should talk about? I could actually run InvokeAI while it's doing this. Yeah, let's just do that. Because I like with if you study this stable diffusion and how to install AI stuff, soon enough you're gonna teach yourself a little bit of scripting or coding. In this case, right, I'm using terminal, right, and I have this environment that's being created using Conda, Anaconda or Conda, kind of like a quick way to have like environment where you can do like Python programming and scripting. A scientist used to do this, but for the artist now you can start to try something like this, you know, yourself. Conda activate invoke AI. I only try. Okay, that's now we are in the right environment. I only got used to this a month ago. Let's go inside. Where's InvokeAI? Yeah. Now all I need to do is just Python and Python scripts invoke.py web. The web version. This is a little bit like stable diffusion web UI. Okay, this part is always a little bit slow. It's loading the setup into memory, and you will see in a bit. Okay, the monkey has already been generated. It's been talking for a while. Let's pick another one. Okay, that's cool. Render. Because if you're like a 3D artist, you've been using Blender for a while, 3D artist or 2D artist using Grease Pencil, you can bring in 3D models. You can set up like a kind of like a dummy, generate like a blocking scene, you know, block your scenes, and then you create a character, and then anyway put in your characters and then do like a prompt and then get crazy with the prompt. In this case I only use a simple prompt because each generations take a while. I have a feeling this progress bar needs improvement. You can see how it's a lot faster now. It's already progressing to 12. Maybe soon we're gonna get a result over here. This one is still loading. Maybe by doing this is everything. Oh no, it's not. It's still progressing from 1 until 12 and then it's done. Okay, 1 to 12. Apparently if we use the step of 12 and CFG scale of 7, it's gonna stop at around 12. Now it's gonna be slower because we are using InvokeAI. Anyway, I want to show you this. Installing InvokeAI requires a little bit some kind of mental training. It's not too hard if you're using Mac. That's how I feel at least. So it's just a matter of running all of this. You need to have homebrew, you need to conda installations, and you need to run this. And then because you're using Mac, you're gonna run and install the Mac requirements for M1. Once you install everything, you can then generate AI image using AI. So in this case, this is the anime version. It's called the waifu diffusion model. It's only generating anime. If I say like a cyborg robot monkey riding a unicorn, or just like a normal, like a real horse on a cloud, dramatic light, styled by Greg Rutkowski. I don't need to type in Greg Rutkowski, actually could be another artist, like a Metal Gear concept artist. Yoji Shinkawa, yeah. So you start to remember artist name as well. Just to try this, I'm just gonna make this 10 steps. Height 512 by 512 pixel, and just gonna invoke. So you will see what's gonna happen. Okay, this one is running while Blender is still doing the progress rendering. It seems to be slower as well there, but anyway, I just want to show you this. This is kind of like my diary as well, because I do these AI things every day for a month now. I'm starting to get used to the process. I wish this can be faster, and I definitely, if I were to invest $2,000, $3,000 or cheaper, if you use, maybe it's not exactly cheaper if you buy a Linux PC and then use just a graphic card, expensive graphic card, NVIDIA graphic card, and then you can run this so much faster in a way. It's using Torch. Oh, because I'm rendering as well. I'm doing screen capture and rendering inside Blender. So everything kind of this one takes, like I said, this is like 4 minutes per generation. If you do like a batch batch render, for example, if you're setting this to texture and a simple prompt, make 100 different variations, you can do that overnight. If it's for a quick test, maybe reduce the steps. 20 maybe is still too high, maybe 10. This one this one will take 15 minutes. Look, oh man, if I'm not recording, this is like 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. But at least yeah, it's kind of predicting, it's telling you it's doing 100, it takes 100 seconds per iterations. That's slow. 1 second per iteration is gonna be more ideal. Anyhow, it's slow, but Blender 1 is nearly nearly completed. The result's gonna be under 10. Oh, I didn't save it. That's okay, at least I recorded this video. So it's 512 by 512 AI render. You can upscale it and then turn it into video. Turn it into music video. Try. Okay, let's say, I mean, you can use AI for the lyrics as well, and then tell it to create music based on that lyrics, and then you sing that song using the avatar, and then use AI to modify your avatar and turn it into something completely weird. That's the right there. $1 million ideas from Blender Sushi. Anyhow, that's enough of the monkey and AI. You can also imagine the AI just like a millions and billions of monkeys doing this hard processing for us, right? And it's generating this. Currently, it's not real time, which might be a good thing, but in the future, it's gonna be real time. Imagine it's not even 1 second, like milliseconds. It's gonna generate AI image for you, and if this can be more consistent and coherent, it's gonna be really, really amazing. All right, so hopefully this is useful. Thanks again for. I'll see you next time. Thank you.